Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, accompanied here, like always, by my ever-faithful and beautiful zombie huesitos. And we are here to regale you with a review. Now, I know what you're thinking, Professor Macabro. Something is missing. And yes, indeed. As you can see, Scary Jack and La Llorona are not here as part of the spooky crew. We still have Homer and Elvira, but not La Llorona and Scary Jack, and that is because they are now part of Professor Macabro's haunted house decorations, you see. Yes, indeed. I'll showcase a video, although if you follow me in my social media, you have been seeing the progress of my little haunted house display. But it is now finalized, and Scary Jack and La Llorona and the newest addition to the scary crew, Jason, they are in their proper place. But I will showcase them in another video. In this one, I wanted to showcase a movie that I purchased in one of the last epic movie hauls. And I was really excited to check it out, because once I saw it, I was like, well, this is a movie that I want to watch, and I popped it in. And I should have expected what I got, quite frankly. Almost seemed like I thought for sure this was an asylum movie, but no asylum was found in this. And it's made by a company called Flicker Scope. And the movie in question is Sasquatch Hunters. Your Sasquatch, your Bigfoot, your Yeti, your hairy man in the mountain. You'll see. The Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the Yeti, the so on, is a cryptid, a creature that is known to exist, but no evidence has been found. Is it a prehistoric monkey that has survived through the ages? Is it a deviant of humanity that evolved a different step and is just now a savage half-man, half-gorilla living in the wild? We don't know. They've never been able to actually capture one. Or maybe they did capture a Bigfoot somewhere and it's now stuffed and displayed on one rich motherfucker's trophy room. We don't know. But there are a lot of movies about it. It's a subgenre upon itself. There's a lot of Bigfoot movies. Boggy Creek is one of the more famous ones. To Catch a Yeti is one of the more infamous ones. But I don't have as many Bigfoot movies as I would like. If it were up to me, I would own everything, but then I would probably need a bigger house to store everything that I have. I'm already, I'm one earthquake away from having this whole thing collapse upon me and burying me on a ton of DVDs, but what a way to go. But yes, I do want to beef up my Sasquatch collection. So I bought this, and I was like, Sasquatch Hunter sounds interesting. The cover's a little, lackluster. It looks like a CGI Sasquatch there, and then you have your cover art here. No special features, unfortunately, and that's disappointing. Come on, it's a DVD. You can store more information. You can at least put the goddamn trailer of your own movie on the DVD. It's not like you're not gonna be able to fit it with a runtime of 88 minutes, but unfortunately, DVD companies skimper on the DVD. But I was like, well, it just says here that it's about a group of people and some forest rangers that go exploring and come across the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm game. So I pop it in, and you have this group of poachers or hunters, you don't really know, and they're running from something, and out of the blue they are attacked. And my first warning that this might not be a very good movie is that the Bigfoot, the creature in question, is CGI. And I'm like, oh, fudgesicles, a CGI Sasquatch. That's no bueno at all. But they do some very weird things because it is a CGI Sasquatch. You only get a CGI Sasquatch, but they also had an actual guy in a gorilla suit. And I'm like, you already have the guy in the gorilla suit. Why did you CGI the Sasquatch? Now, maybe someone saw Jurassic Park recently and that I can do that on my old computer. For sure, yeah, totally. I can do a Sasquatch just as good as the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park on my old-ass computer. And I can CGI a Bigfoot and then mix it with a guy on a suit and it'll be just as good. And no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It looks terrible. You can tell when it's a CGI Sasquatch. And again, it doesn't look that bad when it's a guy in the suit. So why don't you go with the guy in the suit? But anyway, it's about this group of scientists. One old-ass scientist and his hot girl assistants that want to hire this old-ass tracker and a couple of forest rangers to take them out in the region to explore. And the old retired forest ranger's like, no, I don't want to babysit no scientist. But why not? The pay is good, so and I need some alimony money. So let's go. So they take the forest rangers, your typical old grizzled forest ranger, your okay nice guy, your trainee forest ranger, and the guy that is a bit of a jerk. And you have, again, the old-ass scientist, the big-titted blonde chick, and the okay brunette that are going along into this. So they go explore it, and they encounter this mound of tombs that someone has dug up, and they are thinking like, well, maybe it's Native Americans. But what they find inside is not Native American. They find creature bones, like this giant big-ass gorilla skull, and they're like, gorillas over here? That's very weird. But it turns out that this burying area is actually where the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the Yeti, the hairy man in the mountains traditionally go to bury their dead. So they incur the wrath of the Bigfoot, the Yeti, the Sasquatch, the hairy mountain man. And they're actually trying to kill them because they have desecrated their sacred land, and now they're going to get fucked. And boy, do they get fucked. Unfortunately, the majority of the kills are off-screen, and that is the second thing that I was like, oh, no, come on, you could at least give me an original or creative kill, but no. They have this moment where the jerk of the movie goes out and he encounters the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the Yeti, the hairy man in the mountain, and they go into a cabin, and this cabin is from a bunch of people that had already encountered the cryptic creatures, and they put a lot of bear traps, and you hear the jerk because the jerk is trying to fend them off, and then he gets pulled out, and then you just hear the guy saying, no, not the bear traps, and then you just hear a crunching sound. But you don't actually see it, you just hear about it. And I'm like, come on. I know that it is a common horror trope that what you don't see is scarier, but come on. You already got me disappointed with a CGI Sasquatch, and now you're not going to show me a kill, a possibly creative kill of a Sasquatch grabbing this jerky forest ranger and putting him in the bear traps. That would have been awesome. And I don't think it would have been too much of a budget kill to drain your money, but alas, no. And then they kill the hot big-titted blonde chick. True, she's in the forest lost at night, flashing her camera to see where she's going. She's a scientist, and she's not bright enough to see the Sasquatch in front of her as she's taking the flash. But again, it's a CGI Sasquatch, so I guess she didn't see him because he wasn't rendered yet. I can buy that. So they're trying to survive, and you would expect that with a high body count of the old-ass scientist, his two hot girl assistants, the retired forest ranger that's an expert tracker, the old grizzled forest ranger, the good guy, the trainee, and the jerk, that you would have a high enough body count to, knock them off one by one. But there's a lot of people that survive to the end, and I'm like, what the hell? What, seriously? You're even gonna cheat me off of kills by You set up this body count and then you don't deliver by killing off more people. I'm usually accustomed to horror movies that only have one survivor, maybe two, tops. But this one is like, no, we care a lot about these characters. We're gonna let them all live. Because we don't have the budget to have creative kills, and so we won't. And all of the kills are off-screen, which is also very frustrating. You only see the aftermath with the body on the floor, covered with blood. And I'm like, well, that would have been cool to actually see. And this movie, well, much like going to the woods and walking to where you want to go, it's as not as interesting as that, because you do see the characters walking through the woods, spouting their dialogue, if you can call it that, and they get to where they're going, which is eventually the Bigfoot burial mounds. And I'm like, wow, that took a while. That took a while to get there. So, like, again, I've always said this. A movie, any kind of movie, a good movie, a bad movie, is a miracle upon itself. Either from writing the movie, to getting the funding to make the movie, to actually going outside and getting the actors to act and film and do everything and then edit, and then finally releasing it on your physical media or now streaming, I guess. It's a miracle that a movie even gets made and released. But I've said this before, there are some movies that, god damn it, they try and they did their best, but sometimes it just doesn't really work out. And Sasquatch Hunters, it's not a bad movie. I've seen way worse. Oh my goodness. But again, I've seen so many bad movies that maybe my threshold for pain is a little higher than other people. It's not the worst piece of shit I've ever seen, but oh boy, does it, out of the 88 minutes that this thing lasts, it takes a long, long while for them to even get to where they're going, which is the Bigfoot burial mounds. And it's a lot of talking, a lot of walking. It seems like they filmed the whole thing in one single chunk, but then they cut it up. Like, they're walking and they're like, oh, we better set up camp. And then it cuts to a night scene and then a day scene, and you can clearly see that it's the same footage, the same day footage that it was before. And I'm like, oh boy, this really is a low-budget movie. But again, it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's not necessarily boring. The actors do their best with what they're given, but it's not a high-piece horror work of art. I will admit that my main gripe is the off-camera kills, which is very disappointing, and the CGI Bigfoot, which baffles my mind again. You had a guy in a suit. Why did you decide to CGI it? Honestly, it's more expensive and drains your budget more to CGI the freaking Bigfoot than to go with a guy in the suit. But I don't know. So do I recommend this? If you're like me and you're willing to give these type of horror movies a chance, knowing full well and going into them that you're not going to get a good movie, then you just want something to watch for the novelty of it, then I can recommend it. But you really do have to be a sicko, crazy person that likes watching this kind of stuff to actually enjoy it. Because if you like good movies, this ain't it. It's a unique thing, but I can't wholeheartedly recommend it unless you're an insane madman like me that willy-nilly watched The Amazing Bulk twice. Purple cheeks. Purple cheeks. But anyway, yeah, Sasquatch Hunters, unfortunately, is not the best Bigfoot movie, but it's not the worst Bigfoot movie there is. To Catch a Jetty will probably be the worst Bigfoot movie, and even that is not that bad because it has Meatloaf. But I have seen some pretty bad Bigfoot movies, and this one is medium range. Yes, indeed. Have you seen Sasquatch Hunters? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was the most boring piece of dreck ever put on DVD? Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro. That is Zombie Huesitos, and we all wish you, like always, a good evening.